Heyo, everybody. It's your old pal Omnidog here from Omnidog's Vault. Hey, Omnidogs and Omnikittens. Did I already say that? Maybe I did. I don't know. But I'm doing an overview of Aquaman today by Peter David, the Omnibus. And as always, you can go to Organic Price Books. Get $2 off with code OMNIDOG. But big savings, 5% off shipping 4 or more books together with code OMNIDOG. Sit! Yeah, you're yelling at me like upper management might. So, here it is. Geo for Manga Geekdom's Book of the Year. And look at this thing. It is a chonker. 1,500 pages. It's actually more than 1,500 pages. Look at this beautiful back cover. So 1,500 pages, the Peter David Omnibus. And let's take a look at the book without the dust jacket. So it looks nice, not super fancy, but that's actually a pretty cool spine. And you will notice, for all you people with non-matching spine disorder, that this does have the new old DC Bullet logo. And I'd like to point out this unhinged drawing. Whoa, dude, what's happening there? So the first thing, I want to talk about the binding because it's fine. I mean, for a book this size, look at how good this binding is. It was printed in Canada, as I believe most DC Omnis are. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is no matter the size of the Omni, whether it's small or large, from DC, these things open remarkably tight. Like when I first opened this, it was like this. And my point is, you've really got to relax the spine on these things. So let's take a look. Whoa, it's so big it knocked my camera over. Okay, let's calm down here, camera. So I'm Peter David, and there's some other writers in here for some other issues. I like this. This is nice. And various artists. And it has, let's check. Okay, this is a really good table of contents. Very complete. And what I like, page 1583, there's an interview. Wow. Okay, so the first thing is the hook hand. You might think, what if you haven't read this before, you might think, what happens if he has to scratch his nose or something and he uses the wrong hand? Don't worry about it. He can breathe underwater too and talk to fishes. So, I mean, I think the hook hand is the least of our problems here. You have to suspend your disbelief. It tells a very compelling story as to how he gets it and what he uses it for. As you can see back here, he uses it as a weapon. And the my recollection is, as we page through it, I remember reading this in singles, and I kept the singles because I thought, well, we're never getting an Aquaman Omni. And I am glad to be proven wrong. This story is pretty much trademark Peter David in that it's got, well, you see Ocean Master here, and that brings up my first point, is that you don't see a ton of Ocean Master and Black Manta, which is good because he has other interesting foes that Peter David writes. It's not, I feel like everybody, and I feel like, and I feel like other people do, it seems like there's just two main Aquaman foes, Ocean Master and Black Manta. But Peter David does a really good job of bringing in new foes, new opponents, new villains. And actually, we can take a look at the gutter loss here in the beginning. Nice. There's hardly any. And let's see in the middle what it's like. If I can find the middle. Oh, great. There's Ocean Master again. So yeah, this does a really good job. This book is bound really well, and they've taken a lot of care to make sure that there's no gutter loss and that the binding's really good. So as far as construction goes, I think it's remarkable really for a 1,500 page book to be this well constructed. Another trademark of Peter David is his sense of humor. And while this book isn't, say, have as much humor in it as his X Factor or Incredible Hulk, it does have its humorous moments, which I think that's part of the reason why we really like Peter David as a writer. Not only for his imagination, but for his really good, dry sense of humor. And I appreciate that in a book. You can take it seriously as you want, but there's always some lighthearted moments, which really help it a lot. Here we have Kyle Rayner. So that's one of the main benefits of Peter David as a writer. Not only does he tell a compelling story, but I've always appreciated the fact that he can make you laugh too, just to sort of break the tension. And I just realized, I'll tell you the contents, like what issues it has, because it's not enough to know 1,500 pages, but what's this even got in it? So, collects Aquaman, Time and Tide 1 through 4, Aquaman 0 through 49, and 1000, Aquaman Annual 1 through 4, Tempest 1 through 4, and a story from Showcase 96 #1, featuring over 30 never before collected issues. That's really important because I don't even remember. I mean, it's certainly possible that this came out in trade paperback. Maybe Time and Tide didn't, but I don't remember these being available before. Certainly not, this kind of comprehensive collection. And the other important thing is, if you care about my opinion, this is really good stuff. This was an excellent choice for them to put in an omnibus for Aquaman. Peter David just does a wonderful job at making this an interesting and fun character that is quite serious, and it's compelling reading. And I think this is one of those books that, now I haven't read it since it came out in floppies, and I don't know that I had a complete collection. And by I don't know, I can pretty much say for sure that I did not. So we get introduced to a lot of interesting characters, in this. And it has, which I always like, the covers, Whom Gods Destroy. And as you can see, the artwork's really good. Here's Swamp Thing. The artwork is consistently good throughout the whole book. And that's saying something for 1,500 pages. And so you see a lot of, not this guy, you see a lot of other characters that we haven't seen before, which is always a good sign if he can introduce those characters and make them very interesting too. I mean, you don't just want new characters for the sake of new characters. Look at this art. It's very good. This is Califiore? Yeah. Califiore. Sorry, apologize. So I highly recommend this if you have, I don't think he's recovering from that. I highly recommend this book if you haven't read any Aquaman and want to know why people like Geo from Manga Geekdom really like him so much. This is a good first introduction. You can read this without any knowledge of Aquaman. If you've seen the movie, you know, close enough. The movie tells you exactly who he is and how he came to be. And this is a great introduction to him. Very worthwhile. I'm sure it's $150, and it is. Yep. Oh, they might be giants. Nice. So I highly recommend this book as something, as an interesting and perfect introduction into the character, and something that you will reread again, because that's kind of my guideline now for books that I keep. Once I'm done reading them, am I going to reread them? Yeah, I realize I have 70% of my collection still to read. But I do want to only keep books that I'm going to reread. And if I'm not going to reread it, I'll sell it. But this is a book, I paid for this with my own money, by the way. This was not comp to me, and I paid for rush shipping. This should have been out 5 days ago, but I'm me, so it didn't happen. So let's see if we've got anything going on as far as extras. It's full of content. Interview Making Waves. Okay, that's it for extras. That's okay. It's got covers. It's got numbered pages, 1,582, 1,583. Well, okay, let's not forget to count this one, 1,584. Aquaman Time and Tide trade paperback cover. Okay, so it did come out in trade paperback. I don't even remember that. So, pardon me. Aquaman by Peter David checks the boxes for what we want. Interesting character, compellingly told, that we care about the ancillary characters, interesting and unique villains or antagonists, art that's really nice and consistent. As you saw, it was consistent the whole way through the book. Very nice colors. Very nice colors. Very nice coloring job done on this book. And it's got rereadability. Now, the issue is some of you are going to have is how big this thing is. And I have that laptop book stand that I put it on, which is like a foam rubber thing that's has nice velvety cloth over it, and that's what I use. I can comfortably and easily read books like this just right on my lap with that laptop holder. And if you're interested in that, just let me know and I'll send you the link for it at Amazon. But yeah, this book has it all. It's everything you want in a book, which I just listed, and I urge you to give it a try. This is one of the better decisions DC's made recently. I'm really pleased that this came out. So peace and love, peace and love. Thank you for tuning in. And my other links are in there in the description. Be good to each other out there. Thank you for watching. Peace and love, peace and love.